Alright, hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in to my Survival Guide Let's Play on the 1.16.5 version of Minecraft. And today is episode 6. Yeah, last time we did the Evil Dead cabin. That was a lot of fun. And this time I want to, we're getting levels pretty easily now, so we really need to do a crafting table. But I also want to settle this village, and so we're standing out here outside of the village, and I've got some shaders on just for the moment, and I want to go ahead and start getting this settled now. The only thing I've done in the village so far is I expanded their farms for them a little bit, because we're going to be talking about saving villages maybe in the next episode or so, but just briefly, one of the first things I do is I add some beds and I increase their farm. And now this farm is just for them to eat, so that helps with breeding and keeping them healthy. And there is an iron golem floating around here somewhere. There's a mine over there somewhere, and that's why I think where we're hearing these mobs from. But they've been pretty safe, and we're keeping the... there's Mr. Iron Golem. They're keeping their population up, so that's good. All right, so today, in keeping with, before I am able to make this village very safe, I need to figure out where the borders are, and one of the last things in deciding that is I want to put a big barn in here. Now I've laid out the first 4 posts of where they're going to be, and the barn, this is going to be the face of the barn right here, and it's going to flow in this way. And it's going to be it's not too big of a barn, but it's going to be a fairly big barn. We're also going to put we're going to get our food in order as well. We're going to put a cow crusher in one of the first pens here. So I want to go ahead and get started. So let's take the shaders off. Okay, so first things up. All right, so I laid out these 4 posts. So this is going to be the outside edge of it, and then we're going to go, so you put a post down here, then you have 8 blank spaces, this is on the 9th space, 6 blank spaces, this is on the 7th space, and then 8 blank spaces again, and that is on the 9th space. Now these outside ones, now I'm using dark oak because I was lucky enough to find a dark oak forest on one of our exploits. But really, these the important thing about this is not necessarily specifically what type of wood choice, but just that you have some diversity in there to add some color contrast. So at any rate, the outside one, we're going to go 3 up, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one's going to go 5 up, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is also 5 up. And this one on the end, just like the other one, it's going to be 3 up. Okie doke, so now we kind of got a little start. You can kind of see the arch of it. Let's see, I need to get some dirt in here because we, it's funny, I have a jungle right there, but I don't have a lot of string, so I haven't been able to make scaffolding yet. So we're just going to use dirt blocks for today. Okay, so now the roof edge, we're going to start, we're going to do a lot of different blocks in here because we want to make it varied and look a little aged, but we're going to start with oak, and this is going to be the pattern here. So we're going to start with an oak plank right here hanging off the edge. All right, and then we need another oak plank, and then we're going to hide that part of that post right there. All right, and then we need a full block, and we're going to place the full block there like that on the bottom of that slab. All right, next up we need what would be another full block, but we're going to have to use slabs because we're going to start this about, where a normal block would be halfway up. All right, and then we need another full block. And again, that full block is starting at the bottom of the slab that I'm standing on. Then we need we need not to fall. Okay, then we need a slab. Do a quick count, make sure that I'm on the right path here. And then on top of this slab, we want a stair facing this way. And then against the back of the stair, a slab. And then another stair facing the same direction. So we're starting to accelerate our climb up now. All right, on the next one, we want to start with a slab on the top half of the bottom block. All right, then we're going to climb back up. Okay, and then on top of this slab we want a block, and then another stair. Okay, so now we want to place an upside down stair. And come on back up here and do another stair. Okay, then we want a full block. And then we want a slab. Okay, and then with a slab kind of peeking down, not on the back of the slab, but on the top of the block below that, we need a slab, and then we want to put a block on top of that slab. Okay, then we want another block, and a stair, and a block, and finally a slab. Okay, that should be exactly halfway. Let's take a peek down. That looks about right. Alright, so that looks pretty good. We're just about halfway in the middle, and so we're going to start from this end and do exactly the same thing going up this way, and then we'll close off whatever gap we have in there and have a nice peak. Okay, and so when you build that up exactly on this side, what you're going to left is that, and we're going to go ahead, as a 2-block gap, we're going to go put 2 full slabs in there, or planks. Okay, we're going to put 2 planks in here, and we're going to attach them to the slab that's sitting on the top. And then we're going to go ahead and put buttons on here all the way across so that nothing can spawn up there. We'll have to check this and see which one of these rows are spawnable blocks and which ones aren't when we're done. And we'll make sure we spawn-proof it because this is going to be a big surface and we don't want any spawnable area up here because that could be big trouble to the security of the village. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and place the rest of our posts. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to make 4 pens going back, and to make full ease of the gates, we're going to go 4 blank spaces in between and a post on the 5th. And let's go ahead and go back a couple more. Okay, 2, 3. That's going to make 3 pens on this side and 3 pens on that side. So we're going to do the same on these. We're going to leave 4 spaces, and then on the 5th block, a post. Okay, now these should all line up correctly, and these all need to be 3 tall. These, of course, are 5. Okay, these are going to be 5 as well. Okay, final row, same thing, 4 apart, but these are 3 high. Okay, let's make sure that they look like they're all in line and I didn't make any mistakes here. Okay, everything lines up real nice. Okay, so let's start working on some gate action here. So the way the gate's going to work, because we want to have the flexibility of bringing either large amounts of livestock or possibly horses into any of these. And so we need double gates for horses. So we want to make sure we have enough room for double gates on all of these. Okay, now this happens to be, we're going to do all of the pens like that, and the back is going to be the same as the front of this pen. So a fence on each post and then 2 gates here. That gives us a lot of flexibility, okay? So we're going to do this for each pen. All right, and when we finish with them, it should look like this. So all the fences should be filled in except across the front of the barn, and the same across the back. We don't fill those in because there's going to be the face, the wood of the barn and the gates and all that fun stuff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a beam across, and it's going to stay up high on top of that 5th beam there, and then it's going to go all the way to the panel of the roof. So let's go get that started. So temporary block there because we want the beams, the end of the beams, to be running this way. You won't see it from the outside because there's another layer there. We're going to have to take this 1 slab out, and that'll allow the beam to complete. Okay, we got to do the same thing at this end. Break that 1 slab out. And put this guy in. There you go. So we've got a beam. Now we're going to do the exact same thing across the back, but it'll probably be easier if we extend the roof back first. So we're going to climb up here, and we're just going to take these roofs, and whatever block is the top block, like for instance, for this example here, we don't really need to extend this one back because you won't see it from the outside. You can if it bugs you, but you do have to extend that one back and that one back. So if we do that, whatever the top block is all the way around, and extend it all the way to the back, then we'll have a complete roof. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so the roof is on, And also we finished placing the rest of the cross beams. So we did this one on camera right before I cut to do the roof. We did the exact same thing on the other side here. And then I just connected these cross beams across. Now, some people may argue whether this is more or less efficient, but I did the whole roof in oak, and now I'm going to pop back in here and just plop some random blocks in here and there to try to mix it up some. I should have some blocks here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to pop up here and we'll cut out some random blocks and plop something different in. So it's easiest if you cut the block out first, and then you'll see what you need to replace it with. And you just kind of go around and you do this by eye. Okay, so we're just going to go around and plop in some random blocks. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a patchy roof there. We don't need to overdo it. We just want to break it up a little bit. Now we could even change the blocks and replace some stairs with solid blocks and vice versa. But I think it looks pretty good like that, and we want it to look a little weathered but not necessarily broken down. Okay, next up we got to spawn proof it. So I've got a bunch of buttons, and all we're going to do is we just have to hop up here, and we'll start at the end row. And any row where a button places, then that is a row that is spawnable, unless it's a stair. So if there's a stair, then nothing can spawn on it. But if it's a flat top and it's the top half of a slab, then it's spawnable, and we have to put buttons down that row. So you'll be able to tell it's you know. So if that's the top, obviously that's not, because that's a half a block. So clearly that one will be. That's a stair. That's a stair. That's a stair. Stair. Okay, that's the bottom part of a slab. Top part, stair, and both of those. Okay, so now. And then we'll do the same down the other side. So now we just need to, any one of these that has a where a button took, we just need to go down and do the whole row with buttons. There's other things you could do. You could put torches up here. You could make some of these stairs, but I just find that the buttons add a little bit of texture anyway. So this is going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and button this thing up, and then it will be spawn proof up here. Okay, so we got the buttons on. It added a little texture to the roof as well. So next up, we got to put the face of the barn on. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and just do random stuff now. I have all these, you see all these different blocks in my hotbar. We're just going to mix it up. Okay, now we need some spruce trap doors. Okay, and we're going to do the doors as if they're open. So we need some temporary dirt blocks here and make it a little bit easier. So the doors will go up to the bottom of that beam, which is how high they would be if they actually opened or closed. Now in reality, they would probably be a sliding door each way, but we're going to go ahead and make them as if they're in the open position on a hinged type of system. Okay, now we break the dirt blocks out. All right, now we got a pillar up here, and we're going to fill most of this in with fences. All right, now I might go ahead and at some point here and spam in a few signs or leave some of these open. I'm not quite sure yet, but I want to get the cow crusher. This video is getting kind of long, and we've got the top, the front, the sides, and let's get the cow crusher in, and then this thing will be functional. All right, so I want the cow crusher, the top of it, to be level with the ground. So we got to dig down 3 blocks. All right, and I'm going to start 1 block in, and this is going to be a staircase going down. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, it needs to be open in the front, and then we need to go down 3 next to that as well, because there's going to be a chest here, and then there's going to be a hopper here. Going to place our chest here. Got to break those 2 out anyway, because they're going to be cobblestone. And we crouch down, put our hopper there. Alright, so this one needs to be a stair, the one above the chest, so that the chest can open. So So it's got to be an upside down stair. There you go. Okay, now we need to break a ring out around these. Okay, so now we just got to fill this in. Put a ring around the hopper. And we'll put our water down here. You can place it against any one of the bottom blocks except the stair. You can't do the stair because the stair will waterlog and then you'll have a mess. There you go. Now after we get we got to get at least 2 cows in here. Once we get 2 cows in here, we can put a fence post above this and it'll be good to get going. All right, so we got to grab ourselves some wheat. Okay, so this is probably the hardest part, is getting the cow in there. It's easier with baby cows, but I don't have any right now. I could just breed a couple up. The thing is, you don't want to fall in there because if you do, you're going to have to break yourself out. Not that big of a deal, just a little bit of a pain. Okay, 1 down. We got 1 more to go. All right, come on in. I wonder if this will work. There you go. There's a nice little trick to get them in there. You breed them, and the second one will jump in all on its own. Ah, that's curious. I just thought it out. I didn't know if it worked, and it did. That's kind of a neat little trick. Okay, so we got a post above there. Break the second post. All right, we just bred them, so I can't breed them again. So the hard part is done. I might look to make this look a little bit better, but all we got to do is keep breeding them until we get 24 cows. As soon as there's 24 cows, the adults will die, and we will get their drops down here. We will get beef and leather, and it will be a beautiful thing. Not from the cow's point of view, I'm sure. But now all we got to do is we got to do the back of the barn like we did the front of the barn. And I might give a little more attention to detail here and shore up. It's a little bit porous maybe, so maybe a few more signs on there I think might help. All right, and we're back. I've done some work on the barn, just some finishing touches. I went ahead and I thought that the texturing, I think I went a little overboard, so I took some of it out and added some more just oak planks in there, and I think it looks pretty good. I added a few lights here. I had these horses were over in the field over there, and the other day I ran past them and I just tamed them, even though I didn't have a saddle. That way they would hang out. One of these guys, I think the one with the spots there, is pretty darn fast, so that's pretty cool. And so I started up with some chickens. We got a couple piggies over here. We got our barn doors are open. So the cow crusher is going here, and there's some more cows back there. So we got some cows here. We got a bunch of sheep here. I've got several of the colors. I don't have any brown ones yet. Let's see. I thought I had a black one, but I guess it was dark gray. So I have dark gray, light gray, white. So I need black and brown. And then, of course, we'll get some dyes and make all the colors. And I have a couple more pens here I can do something with. I need to light it up a little bit in here. So now with the barn in place and our animal management kind of in place, we are ready to make this village safe for the villagers. We got lots of villagers. We have 2 iron golems now. I see that there's at least 2 walking around, and so it's doing pretty good. So we want to, coming up soon, we're going to make this village safe. We're probably going to do a villager breeder and transport system, all kind of stuff coming, villager trading hall. And all right, this looks really good as the sun's going down. Looks like I'm getting a firm talking to from a couple of villagers. I'm not sure they approve of the barn, or maybe how rude it is that I keep kicking one of them out of the bed. But at any rate, I apologize, guys. But trust me, if I didn't sleep, it would be much worse off. All right, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the barn, and I think it turned out pretty good. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.